Breaking news! Iran has launched a stunning and unprecedented attack on Israel, marking a significant escalation in tensions between the two nations. Let's dive into the details. Late Saturday night, Iran unleashed over 200 drones and missiles towards Israel in what's being called Operation True Promise. This direct assault is the first of its kind by Iran on the Jewish state. Israeli defense forces sprang into action, intercepting many of the incoming threats with support from the U.S., Jordanian, and British air forces. The Iron Dome air defense system was ablaze as it thwarted incoming drones and missiles over Israel. Despite the defense efforts, some projectiles breached Israel's defensive shield. Tragically, a 10-year-old boy near a desert town in southern Israel was reported as the only casualty. While the immediate response from Israel's defense forces managed to intercept many of the incoming drones and missiles, the breach of their defensive shield highlights the vulnerability of the region to such attacks. The attack targeted Israeli military installations in the Golan Heights and the Negev Desert. Simultaneously, Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthi forces in Yemen joined the assault. Earlier in the day, Iran's Revolutionary Guard boarded a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, escalating tensions further. Iran claims this attack is retaliation for the bombing of an Iranian diplomatic building in Damascus. However, the situation remains tense, with Iran warning of further action if provoked. While Israel's defense forces demonstrated resilience in intercepting many of the incoming threats, the breach of their defensive shield underscores the evolving nature of modern warfare and the challenges it poses to traditional defense mechanisms. In response, U.S. President Joe Biden reaffirmed America's commitment to Israel's security during a phone call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Biden also pledged a united diplomatic response with G7 leaders. With the U.S. reaffirming its commitment to Israel's security and pledging a united diplomatic response, the international community is closely monitoring the situation. As the world watches, concerns mount over potential escalation and the involvement of other countries in the conflict. The UN Security Council is set to convene an emergency session to address the attack. This attack comes after weeks of speculation following the bombing in Damascus that killed a senior Iranian official. Iran's supreme leader has vowed to retaliate against Israel, heightening fears of a broader conflict. Israel has a history of targeting Iranian-linked sites in Syria, aiming to disrupt arms transfers to Hezbollah. The recent conflict in Gaza has already strained regional tensions, with exchanges of fire along the Israel-Lebanon border. As tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East, the aftermath of Iran's unprecedented attack on Israel raises serious concerns about the potential for further conflict. The involvement of Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthi forces in Yemen adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. It's clear that this conflict has the potential to draw in multiple actors and escalate rapidly. But as the dust settles and the world waits for Israel's response, questions linger about the long-term implications of this attack and its potential to destabilize the entire region. The repercussions of Iran's audacious attack on Israel reverberate across the Middle East, raising urgent questions about regional stability and the prospect of wider conflict. The simultaneous involvement of Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthi forces in Yemen underscores the interconnectedness of regional conflicts and the potential for proxy warfare to spiral out of control. Now, the world waits to see how Israel will respond to this unprecedented attack and whether it will lead to further escalation in the region. For now, all eyes remain on the Middle East as tensions simmer and the threat of further violence looms large. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story.